JEJE VIBE. Can you feel the vibe?
I'm feeling it.
JEJE VIBE, JEJE VIBE, JEJE VIBE.
It's JEJE VIBE.
Can you feel the vibe? Hit the like and subscribe. Ladies and gentlemen, you know it's JEJE VIBE.
We're back.
You know I got my amazing, beautiful queen with me.
Love is shocking you.
Before. So we're going to talk about an exciting debate between Charlie Kirk. He's one of those conservatives talkers, or
The far right.
the right-wing speakers. So we're going to listen to this debate and join us as we react to this one.
This is a full-blown confrontation on the Israel-Gaza conflict. Spoiler alert, bombing hospitals and leveling entire neighborhoods doesn't magically become moral because someone dropped leaflets first. In this debate, Kirk does what Kirk always does: drown inconvenient truths in a tsunami of talking points, half-truths, and whataboutism, so thick you could bottle it and sell it as Fox News cologne. Trump ended wars. Israel is the victim. It's all culture wars. He recycles every tired, sanitized line we've heard a million times before,
True.
and somehow
Crazy.
expects applause for it.
Praise.
Meanwhile, the Oxford student, he actually demands accountability. He calls out corruption, he exposes the double standards, and most importantly, he reminds everyone that the lives of Palestinian civilians do matter, even if that truth is too inconvenient for American nationalists and right-wing pundits to swallow.
Good evening, Mr. Kirk. You've obviously devoted a lot of your life to electing, keeping in power Donald Trump, and you did so partly because you said Trump would put Americans first and take them out of foreign conflicts. Shall we see how that is going at the moment? Currently, Trump has just accepted a $400 million debt from Qatar, which we're assured is perfectly above board. Billions in arms are going to Saudi Arabia, which they're using to bomb and starve Yemeni children. Not sure how that's in the interest of the United States, but it might be in the interest of the $5.5 billion deal his failed sons are receiving. At the same time, this great president of peace has greenlit mass killings not just in Yemen, but in Gaza, where he greenlit an invasion called Operation Gideon's Chariot, with the express aim of wiping out the Gazan population. You promised to put America first. Haven't you and your ilk sold America out?
He's not wrong, because we did hear Trump mention that he wouldn't mind putting a Trump hotel in Gaza.
Crazy.
The U.S. will take over the Gaza Strip, and we will do a job with it, too. We'll own it.
Now, how do you come back from that? So this is Kirk's time
He's being challenged now.
to respond.
No. Well, I'm glad you have great intellectual substance and can answer. Because it's all the culture wars for you.
That's a bit
When
insulting.
someone actually tells you what you're doing, which is bread.
Can you calm down a little bit? Like,
That was a bit
pound
too
the
word
table, you're all over the place.
combative.
No. You want me to go piece by piece? Or would you like me to talk slower?
I think you can.
Number one, Donald Trump is convening a peace deal between Russia and Ukraine. Joe Biden gave them
that's
armaments.
going well, isn't it? It's going well.
Can you not interrupt
It's going
me?
well.
I allowed you to talk uninterrupted.
Famous for not interrupting.
Yeah,
I haven't interrupted a single person here today.
I'll excuse the students' behavior now, because I remember when I was in college, and when it comes to even way before that, and when it comes to debate now, students tend to be a little bit more fiery,
Yeah.
so I can excuse his a bit combative behavior.
Can I speak uninterrupted, actually? He is convening a peace deal between Russia and Ukraine. I believe we will see an end to that war. Number two, he's actually talking to Iran and discouraging Israel to strike the interior of Iran, and has stopped many other international countries to do the same. Number three, can you give him credit for ending the Indian-Pakistan war?
Okay,
Both of them said he didn't do that.
Well, hold on a second.
So, at the end of the day, the Pakistan war is nothing but two Indians fighting each other.
Sure.
It ain't our business.
Yo, if you watch Indian movies, their fighting scene is amazing. So you just gotta let the Indians fight each other.
Yeah. What is American business with two Indians fighting each other, whereby there are bigger wars that are affecting the American people that you promised that you're going to make American great again, that American first. But now it's looking like Israel first, because we've seen it too. Hey, the past administration, they were standing with Israel. But
Facts.
this current administration is no longer standing with Israel. They're pulling this seat for Israel to sit on the table. Now, who's the boss here?
Crazy.
The one pulling the chair or the one sitting on the chair?
Jesus.
Let's go back.
No, that's important.
Russia, Ukraine.
And that's important.
Can I speak now?
Yes, but the Indian-Pakistan thing, you got to go deeper than that.
Let's go in order. Is a peace summit where the main person in question, Russia, doesn't show up, is that a success, Mr. Kirk?
I'm not even sure.
A success?
Well, again, these are ongoing negotiations, and it's a lot better than when your Prime Minister, Boris Johnson, went alongside our Secretary of State, Tony Blinken, to Istanbul and unnecessarily blew up a potential Russian peace deal, which has resulted in hundreds of thousands of dead Ukrainians, one of the great unnecessary wars of the modern era. Donald Trump believes in conversation and police through strength. He has been president for well over 120 to 130 days, and he has already ended a war between two nuclear conflicts of India-Pakistan. He has secured our own U.S. southern border while we were being invaded by foreign powers. And thirdly, he is brokering a potential settlement with Iran that will prevent a major escalation in the Middle East. And finally, it is very difficult, but I believe they'll get it done, that will finally see an end to the Russian-Ukrainian war.
That was a lot there.
It was a lot. Hey, Americans still don't have no business in the Indian-Pakistani war, because there is already a war with Gaza, and we have the Ukraine and Russian war already. Trump knew that before he came into the office. Why is he busy settling another war that is none of our business?
But they say it's like two nuclear powers. So all I'm saying is, when you go watch the Indian action movies, the fight scenes are amazing. You just gotta sit back and relax.
Amazing. Or maybe
It's over exaggerated.
too exaggerated.
Oh my god.
The mixed sounds
Oh my god.
bring epic sounds into modern
Yo, don't play. Don't play. Don't play. Don't play. That's all
or
I'm saying.
jumping from a mountain
Don't play. Don't play. Don't play.
and still feel like you can fight.
But he's emphasizing on that too. So we won't say that didn't really happen. That happened. But
It still has nothing to do with the question the student asked.
facts.
going to disregard the enormous lies you just put out there about Russia and Ukraine. But do you really think leverage negotiations work if you cut off all your leverage and scream at one party in the Oval Office? Don't you think that has just emboldened Russia? Because look at the approach. Putin thinks so much of your glorious president, he can't even be asked to show up. You have elected or help elect somebody who is at best an idiot and at worst is deeply corrupt.
Okay, again, so Trump and Putin had a 2-hour.
At least,
too much.
At least Zelensky showed up.
Yeah, but he's saying like still can get Putin to show up.
Yeah, so if you cannot get Putin to show up for a meeting, how seriously is a phone conversation?
Yeah, that's true, because they're having a lot of phone conversations.
Yeah, you're having a lot of phone conversation, but there's a difference between phone conversations now and sitting and ironing it out one-on-one, just like how you did Zelensky.
Facts.
If you're really trying to end the war.
Facts. I think a one-on-one is due now. Like, but the last time he talked about it, he was like, it's like.
But you know the funniest thing, Tucker Carlson was able to get a one-on-one.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
Yeah. No, I think like that would be easy if the president wants to have a conversation with him. That would be easily set up. I don't think they've gotten to that point where it's necessary for them to, like, from whatever diplomacy they're having, to be like, okay, we'll meet when the time is right. But it's
that means someone don't have regards for you.
crazy.
On call today, you'll acknowledge that's a good thing. The pursuit of peace can sometimes be a winding road, and it's a lot better than sending hundreds of billions of dollars further into the killing fields of eastern Ukraine, something that tragically both the UK government and the US government has been unnecessarily supporting for a couple of years.
That's true. That's
True.
That's true.
President Trump wants to see a brokerage and an ending of this settlement. I pray we can get it. It's very complicated because of the mess that Joe Biden left, which was an active kinetic war with a nuclear power sending American-made missiles into the interior of Russia. So President Trump has already ended a war. He's ended an invasion. He's only 130 days into this. And I believe, we do not know. At this point, we are merely speculating, which I think we should not spend our time doing that, because eventually one of us will be right. I believe we'll be right, and I believe we'll see an end to this war.
We just talk about 100 billion's worth of weapons, because you dodged my question on what was going on in the Middle East, where Trump has just signed enormous arms contracts with Saudi Arabia and with Qatar.
Yeah, he did mention that.
He ignored the fact.
With his, I guess, his first argument.
Yeah.
Had anything to do with the blatant corruption going on through the Trump coin and going on through giving the very competent sons of Donald Trump billions of investment from Saudi Arabia and Qatar.
Okay, so the meme coin too, we saw it too, and that was not cool. Few days before into getting swearing in.
Facts.
Here's the tweet. My new Donald Trump official meme is here. It's time to celebrate everything we stand for. Winning. Join my very special Trump community. Get your Trump now. Go to gettrumpmemes.com.
You know, like, I don't want to say scamming people now as the president.
Crazy times.
This is something that is directly embroiling Americans into conflict, but is importantly killing many innocent people. Those nations have been known to terrorize innocent civilian populations. So if you're coming to me and you're objecting to America selling weaponry, why are you defending shilling for the Saudis?
Well, hold on. One is sending weaponry, one is purchasing. Secondly, you do know that the biggest purchase that was announced was commercial airliner 737, $100 billion. You've heard of Qatar Airways. They purchased $100 billion of commercial airways. You are right, there were some weapons contracts, but I guess the question is, would you...
But at least, like, it's not Americans' fault that every other company wants to buy their weapons. Like, they too, they need their own defense to boost their defense, so they have to sign, or they feel like they want to get some weapons from America, which is the largest when it comes to the weapon market. So,
But then again, they're saying that it's the Qatar now that's funding the Hamas.
crazy.
In 2012, the Hamas leader Haniya and Qatar's then ruler stood hand in hand. The group, already designated a terrorist organization by the US and Canada, was welcomed and set up its political office in Doha.
Rather have Saudi Arabia buy weapons from America or China?
I'd rather they not have American weaponry at cut price rates.
See, I disagree.
So let's talk about Qatar for a second.
Okay, fine.
You mentioned Qatar. You've been talking a lot about...
Well, he's just like, he's also coming from a student perspective where he still needs to, there's a whole lot that he still needs to learn.
When it comes to debating, but you can see how he can improve
Not just
over
debating,
the time.
not just debating, like getting general knowledge about things. Like,
True.
was buying a weapon from a country that sells weapons is not in
There's
that.
nothing wrong in that. But then again, if they're trying to buy from a country that is selling and also funding the war that the country that is selling is trying to stop, so you now see where there's a problem.
Facts. That is crazy.
You're selling weapons, and then at the same time you still want to stop the war. That means you don't want the war to stop.
Crazy.
Hamas and the evils of Hamas. Can I ask you, who is the main funder of Hamas?
Well, the Palestine. Well, the West actually funds Hamas.
Which state?
Well, Iran funds.
No.
Also,
where are the Hamas leaders?
And also
where are the Hamas
Qatar
leaders?
funds Hamas.
Yes.
It is a combination
So is
of
this a state
international
we should
relief
have a
organizations.
400 million jet with the President of the United States on it?
Hold on. First of all, it was not given to him personally. I understand the optics of it, but it was not given to him personally. It was given to the U.S. government. And under that standard, no.
So, yeah, if you're in the office, you cannot be collecting gifts because now it's looking like a big bribery.
Like a quid pro quo.
Yeah. So, collecting it as a government too, that means that it's still a bribery, but there's no name associated with it. It's for the government.
U.S. government should ever receive any gifts from any foreign countries whatsoever. It's not given to him personally and not a violation of the...
Then why is he trying to transfer it to his personal library? He is.
Actually, okay, again, he sent out
You're
a
lying.
statement. This is way too in the weeds. If you want to keep on going it, we can.
It's a fundamental moral principle.
Okay, so under that fundamental moral principle then, can you acknowledge, though, that President Trump is getting more done in a less period of time than any president we've seen, while our prior president...
We got to give him that too.
Yes, but in a chaotic way.
Did not even know what year he got elected. You understand the contrast here?
Whataboutism again? I'm not a defender of Biden.
I'm not saying President Trump is far better
You
than
have
the
to
predecessor.
defend the person you spent millions to
I am.
elect.
I will defend every day of someone who ends an invasion.
That's all you do,
Who brings down the price of oil, who is revitalizing the American economy, who's brokering peace, who stopped the potential nuclear war, who is bringing Iran to the table and bringing Russia to the table, someone who does not want armed conflicts with the greatest powers of our time. I will defend that endlessly.
This is Charlie Kirk now pandering to
Panda.
to the president.
Panda.
And as a human, you don't want to do that because at the end of the day, human beings will disappoint you.
Facted. Well said, my queen.
You are living
What are you
in a
defending?
fantasy world of your own creation. So it's quite hard
You
to
can say
engage
that,
with.
but then disprove
But
it.
let's check on how Trump is doing in terms of diplomacy. Look, with the war in the Middle East, do you think it was a defensible decision to tell the Israelis you wanted Trump Gaza to agree for Israel to invade the Gaza Strip and to continue to murder thousands of innocent children and civilians in a pointless war? Is that in America's interest? Is that in humanity's interest?
Well, first of all, you should know something about Trump. There's something, if you realize with Trump over the last 10 years, he is quite the social media user and uses hyperbolic language at times. But let me ask you, in the conflict of Israel versus Hamas, who's the good guy?
I believe both Hamas.
Hey. All these
That's
movie things, all this movie talk. It has to be a bad guy and a good guy.
Okay, so if he's asking that question, then let's see how the student answers. And then in between that, I'll still give my own 2 cents to it.
And the Israeli government are evil. But I think also that there is no justification.
Are they equally?
There is no justification to the murder and
Charlie Kirk is asking, who is more evil?
Yeah. So let's hear. I don't want to give. I don't want
innocent people and children.
Let's
futile.
hear it out.
There is no justification, Mr. Kirk, for invading hospitals, for bombing innocent populations, and dragging out a war which is damaging Israel and the West security.
You've made that point, but
It's not a point; it's a moral truth, isn't it?
okay, yeah. It was also a moral truth that the war started because 1,300 Jews were killed and 200 were taken hostage. And when you declare war on Israel, expect.
Yeah, Charlie Kirk could say that okay, yeah, it's justifiable if you were being attacked, and the only way is to attack, because I don't want to say defend yourself, because now it's not like you're in the defense mode, you're attacking.
Facts.
So there's a difference.
A firestorm in reaction. Let me finish, I let you talk. Israel, at its holiest day
What's he personal?
of the calendar year besides Yom Kippur and Rosh Hashanah, Samat Torah, the 50-year anniversary of the Six-Day War. On Shabbat, Hamas invaded Israel, deciding to go recklessly to music concerts, to homes, to kibbutzes, and taking 200 plus hostages. They knew what they were doing. In one of the most cloistered urban environments on the planet, 2 million people live in a place where it's impossible to wage war. Impossible. Where they wear civilian clothing, they violate every tenet of the Geneva Convention, and the IDF, when they do something right, they get no credit. When they do life-saving surgeries of a Gazan child, they get no credit. When they drop leaflets, they get no credit. But when they happen to bomb a place where they are operating their military from, which we now know from third-party verified sources, hundreds of Hamas military operations are in mosques, schools, and hospitals. I'm sorry, the country where they were living in relative peace on October 6th, that all of a sudden we had a war and Hamas started the war. And I don't see people that were really upset about the 2 million Germans that were killed in World War II, civilians. A tragic truth of war is that civilians die. I don't like it and you don't like it. And they brought it upon themselves. The only operation and entity to blame is the leadership of Hamas, not the Israeli government, for fighting this defensive war after they were invaded.
So now Kirk is sounding like the bad guy.
Tree. That was a whole lot.
It was, and also trying to justify Israel as the good guy by saying the things that they're doing, whereby it's a normal thing for the government to do for its people.
Facts.
So why are you now using that as a part of a key point to look like the good guy?
Crazy.
And in between your statements, you still do not, I guess I'll curse a bit, give a fuck about the casualties.
Oh my God. Crazy.
I'm no defender of the terrible pogrom that was launched against Jews on that day. But the justification for the death of innocents cannot be an infinite cycle of bloodlust.
Yeah.
It cannot be killing tens of thousands of innocent civilians with a war with no end in sight, people who were not complicit.
So, and the student is right, because you cannot be holding on to Holocaust.
No, this is now October 7th.
Well, yeah, from Holocaust, because and that's the problem. When we talk about the October 7th, some people always try to find a way to drag it back to Holocaust.
Facts.
And then it starts again.
Facts.
Okay, so my own thing is that wars has existed even way before Holocaust. So if you don't forget about the past war, then you continuously be the bad guy.
Crazy.
In those atrocities. It cannot be bombing hospitals which children use. It cannot be bombing hospitals in which cancer patients are dying and starving in there. The deaths that have been inflicted, nobody knows the true toll, but somewhere between 50 and 100,000 people lie dead under the rubble. And what is left for Gaza except for to continue to suffer under
So, and that's the thing. The amount of hostages and the amount of people that died during October 7th now, Israel's action now is no longer justifiable. Because now and we have previous episode on this.
Facts.
And why you can see the reason why they want Gaza. They just want to increase in land mass. Gaza, West Bank.
Easy. See.
Hamas, because it turns out Netanyahu's political strategy has not worked. It has entrenched Hamas within the territories. To be a Christian, I would have thought, Mr. Kirk, would never have involved suggesting that the price for an atrocity must be an infinite cycle of bloodlust, that innocent people and the young population must be killed.
And that's true. Hey, he pulled out the religion card. Hey, I actually don't, because everyone is entitled to their religion. But yes, if you say that you follow Christianity now, and Christianity is all about love, but now all you do is hate, talk about hate, do hateful things, do bad things, then are you really practicing your religion like you said, like you claimed?
Facts. Christianity, Christ-like.
To avenge some kind of providential Christ. How can you call yourself a Christian? Well, you just did.
I want to make sure we get our moral clarity straight before we proceed.
Okay.
No one likes what's happening in Gaza. No one with a heart or a soul or a mind likes when kids die. But you must understand who started the conflict so that you could end it correctly. And until Hamas brokers an unconditional surrender, of which they are unwilling to do, they could release the hostages and drop their weapons and their lives would be spared. Instead, they are using children of Gaza as cannon fodder, financed by the Iranian mullahs and dragging the entire world into this conflict. So I don't even know what we're debating at this point, other than I believe that I believe the facts. Israel was unconditionally attacked on October 7th. They're responding in kind. And I would just ask you a very simple moral question. How should Israel have responded?
Not with the blanket carpet bombing of the city, not with bombing hospitals. Of course, some kind of military operation might have been necessary, but not murder on this scale. There is no justification for what is happening with the enormous death toll that is being produced. I really cannot see how you...
And the student is not wrong. There are several ways to do things. It doesn't have to be being destructive.
But the point he's trying to make is, if Israel has demonstrated that they can do this, like they can target who they want to target and take them out, why are you just carpet bombing when it comes to Gaza?
That's They
showed it in Lebanon, where they used the cell phone device to trigger some people that they don't want to whatever. So I think that was still the same Hamas people they were targeting at the time in Lebanon. So that's what he's saying. If you guys can precisely target your main targets, why are you just killing innocent people, or why are you just carpet striking when it comes to Gaza?
So that's the thing. So hey, we're still circling back to saying the reason why is because they want more land mass. And
crazy.
Hey, clearly the officials, I know YouTube is gonna flag this, poofing the officials is to, I guess, depower them. And now the civilians, the casualties now is to clear up the space for expansion.
Crazy.
Come here and you have the gall to lecture us on Christian morality, and then sit here and justify the murder of thousands of civilians. Is it working, Mr. Kirk? Is Hamas dismantled?
I've never said that.
You just did.
Well, no.
This is your whole
in
thing.
war, these are called casualties of a war.
We're going to need to stop bringing this
Again,
to close.
I'm not going to justify every military maneuver of 100,000 person army. Instead, what I will do is I'll be clear that there is a good guy and there is a bad guy. I honestly...
Isn't that the morality of a child?
Well...
So this is where Kirk is getting his ass whooped, because you cannot say that, of course, there will be casualties of this. At the end of the day, the land is still owned by the Palestinians, using America to... I'll leave it at that.
Well, this whole thing is crazy. From a Christian perspective, you can't justify killing somebody when it comes
You
to
cannot
a
justify the morality associated with being Christian.
well, what is a good guy and what is a bad guy, and that's where it's hitting Charlie Kirk, because you are Christian
And you asked the
can't-
question.
and you can't support killing of people with just being justifying it, like who's the good guy, who's the bad guy. Thou shalt not kill. It's written in the Bible, so it's not about a good guy, bad guy.
Instead, well, hold on. It's interesting you say that, because a child who knows that Israel is the good guy, Hamas is bad, has a lot more wisdom than a student like yourself at Cambridge University.
I will be glad that I will not have been somebody who has defended the genocide of the Palestinian people. And I think you will have to reckon one day that you have reckoned with.
Interesting. I want to close on this. So can you tell me what African country is currently ongoing a civil war?
Believe it or not, I know about Sudan.
Okay,
I'm
good.
not an idiot.
How about what Southeast Asian country has an ethnic cleansing going on right now?
Myanmar.
Good. And you have strong opinions on both sides?
So
Unlike you,
here's another thing though. This is Kirk now trying to shift the goalpost.
Yeah.
Because he's losing. Now you are now trying to now pull other I guess smaller conflicts. I don't even want to call that war. Smaller conflicts. You're now trying to now pull that in as a justification for Israel's actions on Hamas and the people of Gaza.
Crazy.
about foreign policy and to come to conclusions. You are a culture warrior. I believe when everything is done, Mr. Kirk, people will see you and the people you've supported as corrupt, as selling the country out to the lowest bidder, and of doing irreparable damage to a country I'm sure we all deep down love.
The difference,
you will have to reckon with that.
Difference,
Mr. Kirk,
is when.
And that's the thing, though. And that's the thing, though. It's like you're trying to clear the path, you know, from the mountain top, and you threw a big ass rock down the mountain, and the rock keeps rolling down. It's clearing the path for you, but then again, there are several irreparable damages.
Facts. Yo, he just left Charlie Kirk standing there. Crazy. What do you guys think about the debates? Drop your comment and let us know. You know it's JEJE Vibe.
Yeah, the student whooped Kirk's ass, and this ain't woke debate that Kirk is usually used to.
Crazy. See you guys in the next one. JEJE Vibe.
JEJE Vibe.
Always JEJE Vibe.